we have the e-TCC, Electronic Taxpayer Certificate, the m-TCC, the Modified Taxpayer Certificate, and the c-TCC, which is the Company Taxpayer Certificate. Now, the e-TCC can also be separated into two. We have the self-assessment, we have the direct assessment, and the payee or association. The self-assessment is when you're able to assess yourself. As we all know, tax is on preceding year basis. That is the income of last year, which you pay tax on. So the self-assessment, there is a form. Now, to tell you about how to obtain that. Sorry, the difference between self-assessment and direct assessment is that self-assessment, you assess yourself. Whereby the direct assessment, you have to subject yourself to the tax authority to assess you. You go to the tax station, you are assessed, or you go to another side, you are assessed, and they'll tell you how much to pay. But the self-assessment form, you can go to any bank, or any service point, or any IRS office. There is a form. This form, self-assessment form, which you are going to collect when you get there. Now, at the back of this form, there is a table. There is a table at the back stating the income and tax, the relating tax which you can pay. And you now, knowing how much you have earned last year, you are able to know how much you will be able to pay for that year. So by this, you just go to the bank, collect the form, pay, obtain your receipt immediately, which my colleagues have already mentioned. Collect your receipt immediately, fill this form appropriately. And please, when you are filling, please fill legibly, attach passport photograph, sign, and fill all the necessary details, and submit either at the bank, NRS office, or you get the form here, then we process it to you. This is free, and it comes out within 72 hours. That's concerning self-assessment. Now, the direct assessment, like I told you before, is when you subject yourself to the tax authorities. They will assess you, they will know how much you have earned for the previous year, and they'll come out with a figure for you to pay. Now, the payment now is also done at the bank. Nobody will collect cash from you. You need to go to the bank, and like we have said, you need to fill the form. There's a form for direct assessment, which you will fill, and you submit to them at the IRS office, which they will collect from you when you have made your payment, which they in turn will send to us. The direct assessment, you cannot do it at the bank. You need to subject yourself to the tax authorities. That's concerning the direct assessment. Now, the third one which I'm going to talk about, I've talked about self-assessment. I've told you how you can collect them, pay, attach, fill the form, send it to us, and be able to produce it to you within 72 hours. Then the last one which I'm going to talk about is the payee. I'm going to talk about the payee, which is also the e-TCC. But this time around, it's not an individual. I mean, they're not self-employed. The self-assessment and direct assessment, they're self-employed, they're on their own. Meanwhile, the payee are employees of either government agencies or companies. That's when we're talking about payee. Now, payee, the taxes are deducted as source. As your salaries are paid, your taxes are deducted. And these are being paid by the various companies or government agencies on your behalf to the state government. Now, to obtain the e-TCC payee, before you can do that, the company needs to send an annual return to NRS. That is, there is a form called Form H1, which they need to compile. The form consists of the list of all the names of the employees in the organization, the income they are earning, and the tax they have paid. At the end of the day, they summarize the total, which they submit to LRS. And when the IRS acknowledge it, they send it to us. They send it to us, and we now reconcile. We now reconcile this annual return. Whether the amount you have claiming that you have paid on behalf of these employees and the actual amount which is on on our system correspond. Now, if the money which you are claiming is higher than what we have on the system, then there's a problem. Then we return the from H1 back to you that we can except you will be able to go and pay the balance so that we'll be able to process it for you. And when the H1 has been certified, okay, you now submit your forms. This is the form. This is the employee form which you need to fill. You fill it legibly. You attach passport photograph. You sign your signature, and you fill the name of the company. Then you send it to us so that we can be able to produce the e-TCC card for you. So that's about the PE. Now the last one I'm going to talk about is the m-TCC, which is for the informal sector. My colleague also have already mentioned about the informal sector, which are the artisans. The artisans, the Okada riders, the market women, etc. There's an amount which government has told them to pay, which is 2,500. That is for the low income group, so that they can be able to perform their civic obligations, which is 2,500, which is once a year. So, like I said, you have to belong to an association, maybe association of Ijora fish sellers. You belong to them, but you need to have one corporate ID. You know, my colleague has already talked about PIDs, and we're talking about corporate IDs. A unique number which your association need to have. When you have gathered your money together, you go to the bank, pay on this association's name, collect the receipt immediately, fill the form. You fill the form, you get the photocopy of the receipt you have paid, attach it to the form and send it to us. We'll be able to produce m-TCC cards for you. And all those we are talking about, we'll do it under 72 hours. Now, I'm going to show you like the government workers that works for Lagos State government. There is this oracle that we usually collect from science and tech, which they send to us annually. So normally, the update, for those that have cards already, the updates are done automatically, yearly. But for those that do not have cards, they need to fill the form. You need to fill the form. If you don't fill the form, there is no how you can be able to capture your profile and produce card for you. So you need to fill the form, send it to us. You already have your data here. All you need to do is just search the system. You're able to get it. You know the ministry you're working on. The ministry at which you're working. They're able to produce the card for you. Now I'm talking about the card itself. We have some old cards, which if you have, you need to submit to us so that we can be able to produce new cards for you. These are the old cards. So please, if you have old cards, I hope you all have tax clearance. If you don't have tax clearance, I'll just give you a form to fill. Before you go, you give it to us. We'll be able to process it for you. You don't have tax clearance. Wow, that's serious. So please, if you have the old one, all you need to do is you can go through. If you have these old ones, please just pass it off. Just send it to us. Write an application, write a letter that you want to change it, then we'll change it for you. Yes, those are the old ones. There is a new one. There is a new tax clearance which we are producing now. It has the LRS logo. It has the LRS logo here. And the signature of the executive chairman of LRS. These are the old ones. You can see it has this shining things at the back. Yes. So if you have those ones, just send it to us. Write an application letter that I want to keep to the new one, then they'll be able to produce it for you. Just when we are answering questions and answers, just put down your question. Yes. So the new one, like I said, has the logo of the LRS. and the signature of the chairman LRS. It also has a name, your PID number. Please, this PID is very important and is a unique number for you alone. And when you have it, whenever you want to make any payment to Lagos State government, all you have to do is go with the card so that there won't be a mix-up.